In ancient Japan, there lived a samurai who was addicted to beginnings. Every few weeks, he became inspired by a new vision of himself. One morning, he promised to master the sword. Another month, he swore to become disciplined through meditation. Then, suddenly, he abandoned everything to chase a completely different path. Each new beginning filled him with excitement. For a short time, he felt powerful. But the excitement never lasted. And slowly, his life became a graveyard of unfinished versions of himself. The samurai loved the feeling of starting over. New routines made him feel productive. New plans made him believe change was finally coming. He filled journals with goals, schedules, and promises to himself. But once the work became repetitive, he disappeared. When training became boring, he quit. When progress slowed, he changed direction. When mastery demanded patience, he restarted again. Years passed like this, always beginning, never becoming. At first, nobody noticed the problem. The samurai always looked motivated in the beginning. He trained aggressively for a few days, woke before sunrise, and spoke passionately about discipline. But older warriors quietly understood the truth. Intensity means nothing without consistency. Slowly, weaker students who simply stayed consistent began surpassing him. Warriors he once looked down on became calmer, stronger, and more skilled, while he remained trapped at the beginning of every path. That realization filled him with shame, not because he lacked talent, because deep inside, he knew he kept abandoning himself. One rainy evening, the samurai returned to his room after quitting another training routine. Around him were unfinished journals, dusty swords, abandoned habits, and plans that once made him feel hopeful. It looked less like a room and more like the ruins of every person he almost became. For the first time, he stopped blaming motivation. He stopped blaming circumstances, and he asked himself a painful question. What if my real problem is that I never stay long enough to change? That question haunted him through the entire night. The next morning, something changed. The samurai did not create another dramatic plan. He chose one simple habit, one basic sword strike, and he repeated it again and again and again. The work felt painfully boring compared to the excitement of starting over. His mind constantly wanted novelty, fresh goals, and dramatic reinventions. But this time, he refused to escape. For the first time in years, he stayed. Weeks became months. Months became years. The samurai slowly discovered that mastery is not built through intensity. It is built through repetition. Most people are too impatient to endure. His movements became sharper. His focus became calmer. The same boring exercises he once hated slowly transformed him into someone disciplined and dangerous. People began noticing the difference, not because he changed suddenly, because he finally stopped restarting. Years later, a young student asked the samurai how he became so skilled. The samurai looked toward the sunrise silently before answering. Most men stay in love with beginnings. Then he held up his scarred hands and continued, but greatness belongs to the people who survive the boring middle. And in that moment, the student understood the lesson that had taken the samurai years to learn. A man does not become powerful by constantly starting over. He becomes powerful by staying on the path long after excitement disappears.